Well-trained, heavily armored knights represented a triumph of military might during the Middle Ages. There's no more iconic symbol of medieval Europe than the knight clad in shining armor, jousting with his rivals, wearing a token of his lady love. But knights were far more than romantic figures. They were a triumph of military technology. The resources needed for horses, armor, and weaponry meant that knighthood was generally a job for the rich. Most knights came from noble families, and success in battle might lead to a royal grant of additional land and titles. Many held important religious positions as well as military ones. Some were writers of history and poetry, helping to craft the image of the knight that we still know today.
Our first night takes us to the year 1066 and the Norman conquest of England. William the Conqueror seized the English throne in 1066. I trained as a knight, then became a priest and scholar. I served as William's chaplain during the conquest. I witnessed the Battle of Hastings and the subjugation of England. Later, I wrote a biography of William, chronicling the conquest.
Our next night takes us to the sun-drenched battlefields of Spain, where the Reconquista raged. Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, known as El Cid, embodied the martial prowess of the age. Born around 1043, he rose as a military leader. After falling out of favor, he became a mercenary captain, fighting for whoever paid the most, leading Christian and Muslim troops. His exploits were immortalized in the epic poem Cantar de Mio Cid. His life offers a glimpse into the Reconquista, driven by ambition and military glory.
Our journey takes us to the Holy Land, where the fate of Christendom hung in the balance. The First Crusade saw Jerusalem captured by Christian forces. I, Hugues de Payen, a French knight, stepped forward. In 1118, I and 8 knights approached the King of Jerusalem with a proposal. We pledged to live as warrior monks, safeguarding pilgrims. Within Solomon's temple, the Knights Templar were born. Initially small, the Templars rose to power. As their leader, I instilled discipline and loyalty.
Chapter 4. Guy of Lusignan, the king who lost Jerusalem. For our next night, we remain in the Holy Land, but this time we delve into a tale of defeat and disaster. Guy of Lusignan, a French nobleman who ascended to the throne of Jerusalem, would forever be remembered for presiding over one of the most catastrophic defeats in Crusader history. Guy's path to power was paved with ambition and a healthy dose of good fortune. However, his reign was beset by internal divisions and the ever-present threat of Saladin, the powerful Muslim leader determined to drive the Crusaders out of the Holy Land. In the summer of 1187, Saladin launched his offensive, catching the Crusader forces off guard, leading to the Battle of Hattin, a crushing defeat for the Crusaders. Chapter 5. William Marshal, England's greatest knight. From the scorching sands of the Holy Land we return to England, where a knight renowned for his chivalry, military skill, and unwavering loyalty left an indelible mark on history. William Marshal, the fourth son of a minor noble, seemed destined for obscurity. Yet, he would rise to become one of the most admired knights in English history, a man who served 5 kings and earned the respect of friend and foe alike. William's early years were spent honing his skills in the tourney field. He excelled in this violent arena, earning both wealth and renown. He served Henry II, Richard the Lionheart, John, and Henry III, acting as a royal advisor, military commander, and even a regent during Henry III's minority. Chapter 6. Geoffroy de Charny, the knight who wrote the book. Geoffroy de Charny, a French knight, served King John II. Known for his writings on chivalry and warfare, 100 Years' War, Charny penned the Book of Chivalry and other works. His writings explore the ideals and realities of knightly conduct.
Chapter 7. Edward the Black Prince, Terror of France. Our penultimate night takes us back to the 100 Years' War, a conflict that ravaged France for over a century. And amidst the carnage and chaos, One name struck fear into the hearts of Frenchmen: Edward of Woodstock, better known as the Black Prince. The eldest son of Edward III of England, the Black Prince was a warrior born and bred. He first tasted battle at the age of 16, participating in his father's campaigns in France. His most famous victory came at the Battle of Poitiers in 1356, where he outmaneuvered and decisively defeated the French, capturing their king, John II. The Black Prince, despite his successes, was not without his critics, with his sack of Limoges in 1370 remaining a dark stain on his legacy.
Chapter 8. Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orleans. Our final knight is a woman who defied convention and altered the course of history. Joan of Arc, a peasant girl from Domremy, France, remains one of the most enigmatic and inspiring figures of the Middle Ages. Born into a time of war and turmoil, Joan experienced visions and heard voices which she attributed to Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. Driven by faith and a fervent patriotism, Joan sought out the Dauphin, the uncrowned King Charles VII, and convinced him of her divine mission. Clad in white armor and carrying a banner emblazoned with the fleur-de-lis, Joan of Arc rallied the French troops, leading them to a string of improbable victories, with the Siege of Orleans cementing her status as a national heroine.
The enduring legacy of knights. From the Norman conquest to the 100 Years' War, the knights we've explored left an indelible mark on history. They were warriors, leaders, writers, and even in the case of Joan of Arc, divinely inspired heroes. Their stories, filled with triumph and tragedy, offer a glimpse into a world vastly different from our own. But the legacy of knighthood extends far beyond the battlefields of the Middle Ages. The ideals of chivalry, of courage, honor, and loyalty continue to resonate today, reminding us of the enduring power of human ambition, courage, and the allure of legend.